Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another video here on the Love and Science channel. I am Sam SolBright. I'm awakendeeperwithin.com. And so we're going to be talking about the energies for this week. We are in the second week of August. Kind of mind-blowing. And so we are still traveling through the LionsGate Portal. Usually when we have like day portals, we feel the frequencies a couple days before and a couple days after, even a few days. It just depends on where you are in your journey. It depends on how much light quotient you have inside of your body as well. You're going to feel it a little differently. You're going to feel it maybe more intensely. It just depends. What's important is to continuously allow for the stream of frequencies to come through. These are frequencies that are retuning our bodies. These are frequencies that are realigning everything inside. They're recalibrating, they're recoding, they're doing a whole bunch of things. And so just allow yourself to become more in tune with your body, so that you can start to recognize and feel if there is any resistance, if there's any fear, if there's still, or where you may still have a lot of survival, protection, control mechanisms inside, because that's going to be a huge deal for every single one of us throughout this entire journey, because though everything has to be dissolved. Everything that we have feared, every fear we have inside has to be dissolved. Every control mechanism has to be dissolved. The protection survival mechanism has to be dissolved. And we have to continuously become very conscious of where we're still holding on to those inside of our body. So just continue to open up the body, breathe, close your eyes, really start to tune into your body. To seeing and feeling where you are, where you may still be resisting this whole entire thing. There is one of the things that came through for this video was to talk a little bit about the acceleration points that are happening. There is an enormous amount of acceleration in every way and in every level. The interesting thing about this is that sometimes we feel the acceleration happening outside, but yet inside, it's actually really slow and really calm. When we are in that part of the process and we're feeling that, it's actually a very, very powerful thing, because now you are no longer affected by the acceleration and the speed in which things are happening outside of you. You are now in this peaceful place inside. You are much more present inside. Things have slowed down inside of you, in that you're able to move from that space. You're no longer feeling pushed or tugged or rushed because of what's happening outside of you. The acceleration points are happening in every way, in every dimension, in every level. When you feel the slowing down inside, you're actually going at the speed of light. Because when you slow down, you're in that 0 point, which is actually really, really fast. Everything's moving so fast that everything comes to a halt. Everything slows down to this present moment. And so no matter what's happening outside, no matter what's going on in the outside, you are no longer affected or influenced as you once were by what's happening out there. It's a very powerful place to be. It's a very, it is essentially where we're all heading. 3D was outside, was controlling us. We were controlled by the energies where we were all of these rules and regulations, all of these different mandates, all of these different belief systems, literally, because we were unconscious, we followed that. We followed the 3D world. We followed their system. We followed their rules. We followed what we had to eat based on what they said, when we had to sleep based on what that level of consciousness world dictated for us. As we start to open up and awaken and remember, everything starts to shift. And so it's really interesting because what I'm getting now is we are taking our power back, which is the very, very prominent energy of August. Or the lion is waking up. The lion has been asleep. We're the lions. So we've been asleep. We've been dormant. We've been seduced. We've been completely under the spell. We've been in a coma, in amnesia, all of these things. We are now waking up. We are now coming out of sleep. It's like Sleeping Beauty. After being asleep for so long, we are finally waking up. We're starting to see more. We're starting to feel more. We're starting to remember more. We are now starting to follow our guidance. We're starting to follow our light bodies. We're starting to follow our higher self more and more and more and more and more. Excuse me. Sorry. We are no longer allowing ourselves to being dictated, being controlled, being pulled and pushed and tugged by a world that is asleep. 3D is a level of consciousness that is still very asleep. As we wake up, we start to see how blind we were, how we were just blindingly following a world that had absolutely no interest in us. Now we created this world. It's all part of our creation. So it's waking up to a world that we created, how we created it, even why and the purposes of why we created it, and no longer allowing ourselves to follow that creation anymore. We're waking up to following us. This becomes very, very challenging for the ego, very challenging for the linear mind, because you have to now follow your internal guidance. And this applies to absolutely everything. The foods your light body needs, how much sleep your light body needs, when your light body needs to sleep, what to engage in, how to engage in, everything from relationships to our jobs, to our careers, to where we live, to our location. Everything is now it has to be scrutinized. We have to be able to see where we're still falling into following that old system that we created and where we need to shift. Opening ourselves up to the new ways, opening ourselves up to your way. This is about following your way, your light body, because it's going to be very different from everybody else's. We're not a cookie cutter mold template, far from it. And as our bodies awaken, now you start to become more aware of what you need. And what you need is very, very likely not going to be what the world says you need, what the 3D world that we created says we need. It's not going to be what parents say. It's not going to be what friends, what partners say. It's going to be up to each and every single one of us to start to figure that out. What we need, what our bodies need, what we need to, how we need to support ourselves is we're going to be guided. So opening yourself to the guidance of your higher self, your light body, is going to be very, 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 very important. It's not going to be easy at times. It's not going to be just, oh yeah, because of all of the ego aspects we still have inside, all of the emotions that we still have to feel, everything that we have to confront inside of ourselves. But this is where the lion comes in. This is where you opening up to that fire within you, that courage, opening yourself up to your higher self guidance. Let your higher self lead you. Let your higher self be in command, be in control, because it knows everything. It knows exactly what you need to do. It knows exactly what you need to say. It knows exactly how to move forward. We are going to be breaking down more and more and more of the old. And this is inside of ourselves. This isn't going out there physically fighting the old anymore. You will become exhausted and you will start to realize that that is not how we do this. We do it from the inside. You do it from your internal world. Has to be has to be shifted. It has to be cleared. It has to be cleansed. And it is one of the most challenging things to do because it means going into your emotions. It means starting to feel things that you never wanted to feel, things that you had forgotten, things that you had buried, things that we buried. Opening yourself up to all that you have inside. That's going to be the challenge, but it's going to be the most rewarding thing that we all do. And it becomes actually really, really easy. Everything that we came here to do is done from the inside. We came here to dissolve the 3D world. We came here to collapse the 3D structures. And we hold those 3D structures. That is how you dissolve them. You dissolve them from inside of you. So allow that pure power to come through. Allow everything to come out so that you can start to go deeper and deeper and deeper inside of you. There's always so much more, but I feel like this may be a good stopping point for this video. No matter what's going on outside, allow yourself to go deeper inside. If your outside reality is collapsing, go deeper inside and collapse it yourself. Go deeper inside of your body and start feeling everything so that your physical world no longer collapses. Now, at some level, it still has to, but it doesn't have to be the traumatic kind of collapse. It doesn't have to be the harsh collapse anymore. When you take control as a higher self and you go deeper, deeper, deeper inside of you, and you start to break free from inside, you start to feel everything from inside, then your physical world actually becomes the collapse becomes a very smooth transition because you are in command now and you get to realign everything yourself. When your universe collapses things, when your universe takes things away, is because you're not listening and you're not taking the steps that you're being told. So it has to be a little harsh in order for you to be pushed out of that reality. The more conscious you become, the less you actually, the less you need that experience, because you now take responsibility in every way to make those changes yourself. It becomes a much, much, much easier experience. So open up to that and open up, because these frequencies that are coming through this whole entire linear month and the rest of the year are going to build up your light body so that you can take the necessary choices, really bring out that confidence and that courage to take the steps that you need to do, the steps that you know you need to do. Take the path that you know is the soul line path. Deep down inside, deep down inside, you know what you have to do. Now it's working through every emotion that is in the way of you actually taking those steps. So continue to open up, continue to connect to the body. This is going to be the most super important, super crucial. Continuing to connect to the body, continuing to open up to your body and to your emotions so that you can allow the lion, the higher self, the lion to come through and start opening up for a new reality. So with that, thank you for being here. Thank you for listening and receiving these codes. If you like any more support in any capacity, you can go to awakendeeperwithin.com, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.